This is day 26 of how to stop binge eating. If you want to stop your binge eating, you need to get out of autopilot mode and be more present in your life. When you're binging, you're 100% in autopilot mode and completely disconnected from your body. You're numbed out, disassociating, and truly just not wanting to feel or be in your body. But also, I want you to really consider, where else are you not being present? Where are you distracting yourself, constantly trying to stay busy, numbing out, dissociating, and just going through the motions of life? Maybe you're finding yourself scrolling a lot on your phone. Maybe you're picking at your skin. Maybe you're nail biting, like you're just biting your skin. These are all different ways that you are blocking yourself from being more present and living your life. And I heard this quote, and it said, "You're not alive unless you're living." And holy guacamole, like that hit me. Are you just alive and going through the motions, or are you being intentional? Are you truly living your life? The more present you can be in your life, the more joy you're going to experience. The more fulfilled you're going to feel on a regular basis. You're going to feel more connected to your partner, to your friends, and your relationships. You're going to feel more connected and experience more joy in your hobbies, whatever brings you joy. So being more present in your life is, yes, about being more intentional and being more present with your food, right? Like eating slowly, engaging in your 5 senses, actually tasting the food, putting your utensils down, but also just in your life. When you're going for a walk, you don't need to be on your phone. When you're having a conversation with your partner, be fully present. Be fully present. And just notice this as you go about your day, because the more present you can be in your life, not only you're going to be way more happier, but you won't have the need to numb out on food or to get high, so to speak, because you're already so high on your own life. In 2018, I was 100% in autopilot mode. Like I literally was just going through the motions of life, numbing out on food. I kept myself busy so I didn't have to feel. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled on social media so I didn't have to feel. I remember even just eating a meal, I was like, I'm scrolling, or I'm doing something, or I couldn't just sit with myself. And this is a form of dissociating. Even, I struggled with picking my skin. If I wasn't binging, I'd be in front of the mirror and I would literally be picking at my skin for literally 15, 20 minutes. It was very similar feeling to when I was binging. And it was just, again, I don't want to feel with whatever it is that I was going through. It didn't even have to be anything crazy. It would just be it was a stressful day. And maybe I just binged. Sometimes this would happen where I would binge and dissociate and numb out, but then I would experience guilt. And guilt is an emotion. And a lot of the times you don't want to feel guilt, of course, right? So then you do other things to try to get rid of that emotion. So whether you do even more binging, to try to get that, to try to bring more comfort, to release the guilt. Or in my situation, a lot of the times, it was, again, I'd be in front of my mirror. I'd be picking my skin for 15, 20 minutes. And like I said, it was the exact same feeling of I don't want to feel, I don't want to feel the guilt, or I don't want to feel the shame, or I don't want to feel the, embarrassment of how my body looks, whatever it is. So I'm just going to pick at my skin. In the past, I used to struggle with nail biting. Again, all of these things, I didn't want to feel. I would eat so I didn't have to feel. I would scroll on social media so that I didn't have to feel. I would constantly just stay busy, keep myself busy all the time so I didn't have to feel. I'd be picking my skin or biting my nails. And I got really good at running away from my emotions. But I didn't want to run away from my life. I didn't want to run away from any emotion that I believed that I couldn't handle, because I could, and you can as well too. Sometimes you think I've had such a stressful day, I need food, or I need to just numb out. But number one, you can handle your emotions. you're so much stronger than you think, right? Like that's an important concept to remember. But also number two, like you're safe. You're safe. And so for me, I really focused on bringing more presence into my life. Because again, when you are numbing out and binging and you're distracting yourself, you are running away from your life. You are not present. You cannot be present as you're binging. You cannot be present as you are dissociating. You cannot be present at the same time. So the things that I did to be more present, just to name a few, like I got up with the birds and I spent time in the morning when everyone else was asleep. This was literally the best. It'd be like pitch black, especially in like the winter months. I would wake up super early. Everyone's still asleep. And I'd be going downstairs. I'd have this beautiful routine. I would make myself a cup of tea. Like that would be like the first thing I would do. I'd pour myself a cup of tea. I would normally have dandelion root tea. And I just like feel the warmth of the cup on my hands. I would put a blanket over my legs and I just sip the tea so slowly and just feel the warmth of the tea just like marinate in my body. I would practice my gratitude. I'd do my breath work, my meditation, my journaling. Every single time that I would spend time with my husband, I let myself squeeze in every moment. I never let a second go by where I didn't really express how special these moments were. Every hug, it's like was so intentional. You know, every time we went for a walk, it was intentional. It was more present. Every time I went for a walk, I'd feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. It's not just, let me go for a walk, check off the box. It's just another thing on my to-do list. It's being intentional. And I talk about this a lot, but you can be doing the things that you've always done, but when you have more intentionality behind it and you choose to be more present, you're going to automatically experience more joy by not doing anything crazy, dramatically different. You can do a morning routine and like hurry up onto the next thing. Okay, got to do the gratitude. Okay, now I need to meditate. And you're just going through the motions. You're not actually living. And I'll never forget, there were times when I would go to yoga. And at one time I was crazily doing this juice cleanse. I was literally in like grade 9. It was insane. And I did this juice cleanse where I literally did not even eat. I was just doing this juice cleanse, which was so crazy. I was so weak. And I remember even my mom saying like, oh, Lorna, like, did you eat? And I literally lied to her. And I was like, yeah, the meal was so good. I think she made like a crock pot thing. And I was like, yeah, it was so good. Meanwhile, I was literally on the couch. The converter was on the, what do you call it? Like the foot stand where you put your feet up. Like arm's reach. But I had no energy in my body. Like I felt like my body was glued to my couch. I was so tired. I was not even in zombie mode. Like I was not even here. I was in a different planet. Like I was so mentally checked out just even from dieting. So you don't even have to be mentally checked out by, numbing out on food. It could also be just like spending your life dieting and having no energy. You're not awake. You're not living your life. Even going to the bank used to be so much effort for me. And I would come home from the gym. I'd like wake up in the morning. I would, do my cardio. I'd work out. I would come home and I would sleep. Like I would pass out. And I'm like, I'm wasting so much time in my day. So there's so many hours you can get back when you're not binging. There's so many hours you can get back when you're not like low energy, just trying to get onto the next day because you're so tired and so burnt out and so hungry from dieting. That's not living. So when I started doing these things, being more intentional, soaking in every single moment with my husband, taking an extra 10 minutes to really like soak in alone time first thing in the morning, and going on my walks and like enjoying the walk, not just doing the walk to do the walk, but like doing the walk to experience joy in my life, joy started filling my body naturally. And I like to say, like, I became high on my own life. Like, truly. I didn't need to falsely get high, so to speak, through binging because I became my source of joy. I created a life that felt so magical and still feels so magical every single day. So you're safe to feel. You're so safe to be in your body. You're so safe to soak in every single moment of this beautiful life. You might think that you need to numb out and dissociate because I can't process my emotions, but you can. You can. You can handle stressful moments. You can. You can handle the stress, the overwhelm, the boredom, the loneliness. Like, you can handle it. It's time to get out of autopilot mode and focus on being more present in your life and just truly living the life. Remember that quote, you're not alive unless you're living. So every single day, live your life. Get out of autopilot mode. Be intentional, be present in your life so that you don't have to numb out and run away from your life. So with that being said, I have two things I want to share with you. Number one, emotional eating is a problem for so many people. Turning to food when you're bored, turning to food when you're stressed, turning to food when you're emotional, overwhelmed, don't want to feel. I've been there. And I just showed you a few examples of how I've been able to stop my emotional eating by intentionally bringing more joy into my life. And I want to share with you that at the end of this month, I'm going to be running my emotional eating program, how to stop self-soothing with food, how to be able to cope with your emotions without turning to food, how to be able to come home after a long, stressful day of work and not automatically go into the kitchen to get high on chocolate or to get that dopamine hit, but actually have practices where you're able to relax and feel that comfort without needing to numb out. You know, everyone has stress in their life, but there are some people who will feel stress and they'll go to the gym. There's some people who stress out and they'll do breath work or they'll have other healthy healing coping strategies to help them process their emotions without turning to food. So that's exactly what I'm going to help you with inside of this emotional eating program. If you really resonate with, like, you know that every single time you're stressed, you eat. Every single time you're happy, you eat. Every single time you're sad, you eat. Like, food is literally the main source of joy in your life. You need to be inside of this program. So it's happening at the end of the month, but it is on pre-sale. And you know, when I do a pre-sale, you should probably jump in because the price usually quadruples. So if you're interested in this emotional eating program, you can just message me on my Instagram, emotion, and I'll send you the link. You'll be the first one to join. I haven't shared any of the details yet, but if you just message me the word emotion, I'll send the link to you and you can join in at the lowest rate. If you are inside of my program, Conquer gives you access to every single program I run. So if you're a client of mine inside of Conquer, you automatically get access to this program. But if you're somebody that just wants to join this program separately because you know that emotional eating is a struggle for you, you know that when you are stressed and you're bored, like, it's just, you feel this need to just comfort yourself because you don't know what else to do. You don't know how to just sit with your emotions. You don't know how to just be with your emotions. This is going to be an incredible program to join. So just message me emotion and I'll send you the link. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this week I'm running my 5-day masterclass on how to step into your inner badass to conquer binge eating. So it's completely free. And this masterclass is all about stepping into your inner badass, becoming someone who puts in the work, who takes action every single day to become less impulsive with food and no longer allows food to control you. You all have this inner part of you that just knows that you're meant to live a better life, that knows that you are a freaking badass and you can do hard things like conquer binge eating. So I'm going to share with you exactly what it takes to conquer binge eating over the next 5 days. So this is completely free. It's happening this week. If you'd like to join, I will leave the link for you to join in the chat or in the comment section of this podcast. So message me emotion if you want to get in on that emotional eating program. And then if you want to join the 5-day free masterclass happening this week, you can do that as well too. The link will be down in the show notes. Regardless, be more present in your life. Be more intentional. Soak in every single moment of this precious life because you deserve it. You're here to live your life, not just go through the motions, not just hurry up, I want the day to be over. That's something else I used to tell myself all the time when I was binging. I'd have a binge and I would automatically tell myself, I want the day to be over. And it'd be like 1:00. And that hit me in the feels. I'm like, I am literally just waiting for the next day. I'm just waiting for tomorrow to come when there's literally still 10 more hours of the day. That is such a waste. Every single moment matters. One day we're not going to be here. And I don't like to, bring that into I don't want to, all of a sudden make this a negative conversation. But the reality is one day we're not going to be here. And so soak in every single moment. Every single second matters. Every single moment matters. You're doing the dishes. How can you bring more joy into that? You're going for a walk with your partner. Can you soak in that moment even more? You're watching a movie with your partner. Can you make that the best hour and a half ever? Even if you're not even doing anything dramatic or crazy, it's be more intentional. This changed my life. Being more present changed my life. It truly changed my life. And when you start being more present in your life, you're not going to have the desire to self-soothe with food. So I will see you this week for the free 5-day masterclass. I will see some of you guys inside of the emotional eating program happening at the end of the month. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.